Slimer MTG. Today we will have a random stack of damage cards. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Worship enchantment. Damage that will reduce your life total to less than 1 instead reduces it to 1 if you control a creature. Believe in the ideal, not the idol. Sarah. Lantern of Insight. Artifact. Each player plays with the top card of his or her library revealed. Tap, sacrifice Lantern of Insight. Target player shuffles his or her library. Each eye sees a different possibility for tomorrow. Polar Kraken. Summon Kraken. Power 11, Toughness 11. Trample. Cumulative upkeep. Sacrifice a land. Comes into play tapped. It was big. Really, really big. No, bigger than that. It was big. Arna, Kennerville, Sky Knight. Sidisi, Brood Tyrant. Legendary creature. Naga Shaman. Power 3, Toughness 3. Whenever Sidisi, Brood Tyrant, enters the battlefield or attacks, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Whenever 1 or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. Hydroblast. Interrupt. Counter target spell if it is red, or destroy target permanent if it is red. Heed the lessons of our time. The farms of water may move the land itself and hold captive the fires within. Gusta, Ebba's daughter. Kaldaran Royal Mage. Cursed Scroll. Artifact. 3 generic mana. Tap. Name a card. Target opponent chooses a card at random from your hand. If he or she chooses the named card, Cursed Scroll deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Borborygmus. Legendary creature. Cyclops. Power 6, Toughness 7. Trample. Whenever Borborygmus deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. It's easy to see why these cruel dirtbags follow him. The only orders he gives are crush them and we eat. Tesa. Fervor enchantment. Creatures you control have haste. The intensity of their glare was soon surpassed by the intensity of their attack. Icarid, Creature, Horror. Power 3, Toughness 1. Haste. At the end of turn, sacrifice Icarid. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Icarid is in your graveyard, you may remove a black creature card in your graveyard other than Icarid from the game. If you do, return Icarid to play. Sarcomancy. Enchantment. When Sarcomancy comes into play, put a zombie token into play. Treat this token as a 2/2 black creature. During your upkeep, if there are no zombies in play, Sarcomancy deals 1 damage to you. Rally the Horde. Sorcery. Remove the top 3 cards of your library from the game. If the last card removed isn't a land, repeat this process until the last card removed is a land. Put a 1/1 red warrior creature token into play for each non-land card removed from the game this way. Skullcrack. Instant. Players can't gain life this turn. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Skullcrack deals 3 damage to target player. The Law Mage's argument was clever and well reasoned, but Blunk's response proved irrefutable. Persecute. Sorcery. Choose a color. Look at target player's hand. That player discards all cards of the chosen color. My finest warrior was lost to the directions. I pray that Lady Selenia died honorably. Radiant Archangel. Ball of Lightning. Summon Ball Lightning. Power 6, Toughness 1. Trample. Ball Lightning is unaffected by summoning sickness. At the end of any turn, bury Ball Lightning. Ghost Flame Sliver. Creature Sliver. Power 2, Toughness 2. All slivers are colorless. This breed is on the cusp of evolution. It burns away the markings that connect it to a queen that no longer heeds its call. It seeks a new master. Perhaps I can give it one. Frailties. Kamal, Pit Fighter. Legendary creature. Human Barbarian. Power 6, Toughness 1. Haste. Tap. Kamal, Pit Fighter deals 3 damage to target creature or player. In times when freedom seems lost, great souls arise to reclaim it. Oblation. Instant. The owner of target non-land permanent shuffles it into his or her library, then draws 2 cards. A richer people could give more, but they could never give as much. Thought Weft Trio. Creature, Kitkin Soldier. First strike, Vigilance. Power 5, Toughness 5. Champion a Kithkin. Thought Weft Trio can block any number of creatures. Tinderwall. Summon Wall. Power 0, Toughness 3. 0. Sacrifice Tinderwall to add 2 red mana to your mana pool. Play this ability as an interrupt. Red mana. Sacrifice Tinderwall to have it deal 2 damage to target creature it blocks. Sisei's Ring. Artifact. Tap to add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Play this ability as a mana source. With this ring, you have friends in worlds you've never heard of. Sisei, Captain of the Weatherlight. Fathom Fleet Captain. Creature, Human Pirate. Power 2, Toughness 1. Menace. Whenever Fathom Fleet Captain attacks, if you control another non-token pirate, you may pay 2 generic mana. If you do, create a 2/2 black pirate creature token with Menace. Join me and take the world for yourself. Squall Line. Instant. Squall Line deals X damage to each creature with flying and each player. The constant shifting of Dominaria's shredded timeline played havoc with its atmosphere, combining savage electrical storms from ages past. Phyrexian Processor. Artifact. As Phyrexian Processor enters the battlefield, pay any amount of life. 4 generic mana. Tap. Put an XX black minion creature token onto the battlefield, where X is the life paid as Phyrexian Processor entered the battlefield. Elbrus, the Binding Blade. Legendary Artifact. Equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. When equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, unattach Elbrus the Binding Blade, then transform it. Equip 1 generic mana. Those who grasp its hilt soon hear the demon's call. Willengar Unbound, legendary creature, demon, flying, intimidate, trample. Whenever a player loses the game, put 13 +1/+1 counters on Willengar Unbound. There are not enough lives on Innistrad to satisfy his thirst for retribution. Power 13, Toughness 13. Spike Hatcher. Summon Spike. Power 0, Toughness 0. Spike Hatcher comes into play with 6 +1/+1 counters on it. 2 generic mana. Remove a +1/+1 counter from Spike Hatcher. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. 1 generic mana. Remove a +1/+1 counter from Spike Hatcher. Regenerate Spike Hatcher. Somnophore. Summon Illusion. Power 2, Toughness 2. Flying. Whenever Somnophore successfully deals damage to a player, tap target creature that player controls. That creature does not untap during its controller's untap phase as long as Somnophore remains in play. Embargo. Enchantment. Non-land permanents don't untap during their controller's untap steps. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 2 life. Anna Volver. Creature Volver. Power 3, Toughness 3. Kicker 1 generic mana, 1 blue mana, and or 1 black mana. If you pay the 1 generic mana and 1 blue mana kicker cost, Anna Volver comes into play with 2 +1/+1 counters on it and has flying. If you paid the black mana kicker cost, Anna Volver comes into play with a +1/+1 counter on it and has pay 3 life. Regenerate Anna Volver. Grand Melee. Enchantment. All creatures attack each turn if able. All creatures block if each turn if able. Hot blood washes away cold reason. Autumn Willow. Summon Legend. Power 4, Toughness 4. Cannot be the target of spells or effects. 1 green mana. Target player may target Autumn Willow with spells or effects until end of turn. We must shake her limbs and rattle her brains. Grandmother Sinjir. Impulse. Instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. Shuffle your library afterwards. Controlling time ensures you need never look impulsive again. The Fairy. Delrak. Creature. Horror. Power 6. Toughness 6. Trample. You may sacrifice 3 black creatures instead of paying Delrak's mana cost. It bears the soul of its victims like Showas on a chain. Desolation Angel. Creature. Angel. Kicker. 2 white mana. Flying. When Desolation Angel comes into play, destroy all lands you control. If you paid the kicker cost, destroy all lands instead. Dread of Night. Enchantment. White creatures get -1/-1. These moonless foreign skies keep me in thrall. Dark whispers echo in the night, and I cannot resist. Selenia, Dark Angel. Blade Wing the Risen. Creature. Dragon Legend. Power 4. Toughness 4. Flying. When Blade Wing the Risen comes into play, you may return target dragon card from your graveyard to play. 1 black mana, 1 red mana. All dragons get +1/+1 until end of turn. Oris, Samite Guardian. Legendary creature. Heal Cleric. Power 1. Toughness 3. Tap to prevent all damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn. Grandeur. Discard another card named Oris, Samite Guardian. Target player can play spells this turn, and creatures that player controls can't attack this turn. Counter spell. Interrupt. Counter target spell. It was probably a lousy spell in the first place. Airtie, Wizard Adept. Butcher of Malakir. Creature. Vampire Warrior. Flying. Power 5, Toughness 4. Whenever Butcher of Malakir or another creature you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature. His verdict is always guilty. His sentence is always death. Anawan, the Ruined Sage. Legendary creature. Vampire Shaman. Power 4, Toughness 3. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player sacrifices a non-vampire creature. So many have died in search of that map, And now it appears in the hands of the arrogant child Chandra Nalaar. Voice of all, creature, angel, power 2, toughness 2, flying. As voice of all comes into play, choose a color. Voice of all has protection from the chosen color. Llanowar Wastes, land. Tap to add 1 generic mana to your mana pool. Tap to add 1 black mana or 1 green mana to your mana pool. Llanowar Wastes deals 1 damage to you. Terrain Generator, land. Tap to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. 2 generic mana. Tap. Put a basic land card from your hand into play, tapped. Thran Quarry, land. At the end of each turn, if you control no creatures, sacrifice Thran Quarry. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Impulsive Maneuvers, enchantment. Whenever a creature attacks, flip a coin. If you win the flip, the next time that a creature would deal combat damage this turn, it deals double that damage instead. If you lose the flip, the next time that creature would deal combat damage this turn, prevent that damage. Zuberi, Golden Feather, Summon Legend, Power 3, Toughness 3, Flying. Zuberi, Golden Feather counts as a griffin. All other griffins get +1/+1. If the griffins tell of their gods, perhaps they speak of feathers bright as the sun. A fairy tales. Magus of the Mirror, creature, human wizard. Tap, sacrifice Magus of the Mirror. Exchange life totals with target opponent. Play this ability only during your upkeep. Power 4, Toughness 2. Behold the image of the enemy and all that she has. Trust your envy and take it. Phyrexian Colossus, artifact creature. Power 8, Toughness 8. Phyrexian Colossus does not untap during your untap phase. Pay 8 life. Untap Phyrexian Colossus. Phyrexian Colossus cannot be blocked by fewer than 3 creatures. Dulcimere, Wolfblood, Legendary creature, Elf Warrior. Power 3, Toughness 4. Other green creatures you control get +1/+1. Other white creatures you control get +1/+1. Tap to put a legendary 2/2 green and white wolf creature token named Voha into play. Carnifex Demon. Creature, Demon. Power 6, Toughness 6. Flying. Carnifex Demon enters the battlefield with two -1/-1 counters on it. 1 black mana. Remove a -1/-1 counter from Carnifex Demon. Put a -1/-1 counter on each other creature. Every contagion has a host. Cloak and Dagger. Tribal Artifact. Rogue Equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has Shroud. Whenever a rogue creature comes into play, you may attach Cloak and Dagger to it. Equip 3 color 3 generic mana. Shield Sphere. Artifact creature. Power 0. Toughness 6. Counts as a wall. If Shield Sphere is assigned as a blocker, put a -0/-1 counter on it. My soldiers know that they need never fear for their protection. King Darian of Keldor. Helm of Awakening. Artifact. All spells cost 1 generic mana less to play. This little prize will cover your head, your spells, your bets, and your behind. Bashad ibn Asim, Sukata Trader. Tikas Dragon. Artifact creature. Power 5, Toughness 5. Flying, Trample, Rampage 4. Tikas Dragon counts as a dragon. Bone Mask. Artifact. 2 generic mana. Tap to prevent all damage to you from any one source. For each 1 damage prevented in this way, remove the top card of library from the game. The protection offered comes at a price. How numerous are your kin? Puraj of Urborg. Skirk, Fire Marshal. Creature, Goblin Lord. Power 2, Toughness 2. Protection from red. Tap 5 and tap goblins you control. Skirk Fire Marshal deals 10 damage to each creature and each player. His boss became smart enough to get out of the way. Heart Sliver. Summon Sliver. Power 1, Toughness 1. All slivers are unaffected by summoning sickness. Gerard looked all around for the source of the mysterious pulse, and at the moment the slivers boiled forth from the crevices. Coffin Queen. Summon Wizard. Power 1, Toughness 1. You may choose not to untap Coffin Queen during your untap phase. 2 generic mana. 1 black mana. Tap to put target creature card from any graveyard into play under your control. Remove that creature from the game if Coffin Queen becomes untapped or if you lose control of Coffin Queen. Thanks for watching. You may subscribe for other ASMR videos. Thank you.